They always say the Cecil has a pulse. I never believed it until it was too late. I started working the night shift at the front desk in early 2013. The management called it the Stay on Main. By then a cheap rebranding to scrub away decades of bad press. Everyone knew it as the Cecil though. Locals avoided it. Tourists accidentally booked it. And I just needed the money. It paid in cash, no questions. That should have been my first red flag. The lobby was dim and yellow lit, with cracked tile floors that never stopped being sticky, no matter how often you mopped. The elevator chugged like a smoker with emphysema, and the guests, they came and went like ghosts, drifters, addicts, loners, and tourists who didn't read the reviews. Elisa Lam checked in on January 28th. I remember her because she smiled. No one smiles at the Cecil. She was young, 21, maybe. Canadian said she was traveling the coast alone, trying to see California before something changed. I didn't ask what she meant. You don't get too curious at the Cecil. Curiosity is how you end up like room 501. She booked a shared room, but we moved her to a private one after her roommates complained she was acting weird. That's what they said, at least. One guy told me she kept locking herself in the bathroom for hours, talking to herself. Another said she left notes on the bunk beds, stuff like, "Stay out and they're watching me." I shrugged it off. I've seen worse. Until she disappeared. February 1st was the last day anyone saw her. I was working the desk when a guest came down, complaining the water pressure was gone, and the tap water was coming out black, and sweet tasting. The maintenance guy, Hector, went up to check the tanks on the roof. We weren't supposed to let guests up there, but the security was laughably an old alarm and a flimsy lock. The access code hadn't been changed in years. I heard the scream before I saw what he found. They pulled her out of the water tank on February 19th. Naked, bloated, face up. I wasn't allowed on the roof, but I saw the look on Hector's face. He didn't come back to work after that. The police were crawling all over the place for days. Cameras, tape, uniforms. They asked questions, showed me photos, wanted to know if I'd seen anything strange. I lied, because I had, and I didn't know how to explain it. They released the elevator footage a few days later. That's when things got worse. I watched the video on my phone during my shift. It was grainy, time-stamped, and wrong in a way that made my skin crawl. Elisa steps into the elevator. She presses multiple buttons first, the 4th floor, then 6, then 10. She tucks into the corner like she's hiding, peeks out, hides again. She waves her hands at something invisible, steps in and out like the elevator's a game board. Her movements are jerky, like her limbs don't belong to her. Then nothing. She vanishes. Just like that. What they don't tell you is what happened after we released the tape. The elevator started acting up. Doors that wouldn't close. Stops on every floor. Even when no button was pushed. I'd be standing at the desk at 3 a.m. and hear the chime didn't. The doors would open to an empty shaft of darkness. Sometimes I thought I saw a shadow step out. But when I looked directly, nothing. I told myself I was imagining it. Sleep deprivation. Grief, maybe. But then came the phone calls. The lobby phone would ring after midnight. No one on the other end, just breathing. Shallow, wet, and irregular, like someone gasping underwater. One night I answered, and someone whispered, "She's still here." Click, I checked the call log. Internal line. It came from room 412. Elisa's room. Except we'd sealed that room after the body was found. Police orders. I grabbed the master key and took the elevator up. Every floor felt colder than the last. The 4th floor was like stepping into a freezer. I opened room 412. Empty. Cleaned out. No bedding. Just bare mattress, dusty light, and something scratched into the wall near the vent. I didn't report it. What was I supposed to say? February bled into March. Guests kept checking out early. Some claimed to see Elisa in the hallways. Others said they heard singing through the vents, gurgling and sweet. One couple even swore their faucet ran red water. When I checked, it was clear, but the sink smelled like rust and rot. I started sleeping at the hotel, figured I'd pick up extra shifts, but it wasn't about the money. I felt like I couldn't leave, like something needed me there. That's when the dream started. Dark water, a face just beneath the surface, fingers clawing at the tank walls, eyes open, mouth moving, not drowning. Watching the dreams weren't just dreams. One night, I woke up in one of the back staff rooms, drenched in sweat. My mouth tasted like chlorine and old copper. I stumbled to the mirror and saw water dripping from my nose and ears. Not sweat water. Cold. Smelling like the tank. Then I saw her. Behind me. In the mirror. Elisa. Pale. Her face bloated. Skin rippling like she was still submerged. She opened her mouth and pointed to the ceiling. I spun around, nothing there. But I heard a slosh dot above the water tank. I needed answers. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't leave. One night maybe. A mistake, I went up to the roof. The alarm didn't go off. The lock opened like it had been waiting for me. I climbed the rusted stairs, flashlight shaking in my grip. The tanks loomed like tombstones. I got close to the one they found her in. Peered into the hatch. Empty now. But not quiet. There was a sound coming from the drain at the bottom. Not dripping. Whispering. "Help me," it said. The voice was hers. I backed away and nearly tripped over something hard. A notebook. It was soaked. But I could still read parts of it. They followed me. The elevator doesn't lead to the same place anymore. I pressed all the buttons, but they keep coming. I don't think I'm alive. I dropped it. Ran, didn't look back. I started noticing mirrors acting strange. In the guest bathrooms. In the hallway near 412. I'd catch my reflection blinking out of sync. Sometimes smiling when I wasn't. Sometimes not there at all. One time, I walked past a cracked mirror near the laundry chute and saw Elisa looking back at me. She mouthed, "Something, find me." After that, I covered every mirror in the lobby with towels. Management yelled. I didn't care, because I wasn't alone anymore. And she wasn't the only thing moving through the walls. A man in a trench coat came in one night. No ID, paid in cash. Asked for a high floor. Room 1002. He spoke softly, like a priest, but never blinked. "They're trying to open the tank." "Again," he said. "What tank?" He smiled. "The one she kept shut. But not just for herself, for the others." I didn't give him the room. Told him we were full. Next morning, the night manager said someone had broken into room 1002. Window cracked. Black mold spread on the ceiling. And in the center of the bed, a pool of water. Fresh, still rippling. Late March, a group of teenagers checked in. They were internet kids, filming videos. They wanted to try the elevator game. I'd heard about it. Press a specific sequence of buttons. Don't get off when the woman gets on. If you do it right, it's supposed to take you somewhere else, another world. I told them not to. They laughed and filmed themselves anyway. They didn't check out. Police came again. More questions. I said nothing. But I saw the footage. Security caught them stepping in, pressing buttons, giggling, and then the doors opened. Darkness. Not another floor. A hallway that shouldn't exist. One of them turned to the camera and mouthed, "She's in there." The doors closed. They never came back down. On April 10th, I was cleaning a flooded bathroom on the 3rd floor. Guests claimed water wouldn't stop running. The tub was full, brown, stinking. I pulled the drain plug and screamed. A hand shot up through the drain. Pale, small, reaching. No one believed me, but I checked the maintenance logs later. That room, booked by Elisa Lam for 2 nights before. She was moved. She had taken baths there. Said she liked how quiet the water was. I lasted until April 14th. I don't remember clocking out. I just remember waking up in room 412. Soaking wet, door locked from the inside. On the ceiling, scrawled in water stains. She never left. I don't know how I got out, or why I'm still alive. I left LA that same day. Never went back. Never told anyone until now. But sometimes, at night, I hear the elevator chime. Ding. And when I look at the bathroom mirror just for a second, see her floating, watching, waiting. Because here's the truth. Elisa Lam didn't drown in that tank. She went somewhere else. And sometimes, she still comes back. Looking for the door. Looking for you.